Hey, what's up guys, it's Grill Hands. I got some Gears of War 3 gameplay for you. It's actually been a little while since I posted up some Gears gameplay. It's not because I have a lack of content to put up on the channel. No, I think I've got like 10 or 15 gameplays saved on my hard drive. It's just I don't know what to talk about when it comes to this game. I'm still relatively new to the franchise, so I certainly can't be giving people tips and tricks or advice on how to play because I'm still learning the general ropes. I'm still a noob when it comes to this game, so yeah, I don't need to be giving people advice at all. So I'm kind of at a loss for words. I can't really think up many topics to discuss when it comes to Gears of War. Thankfully, this gameplay gave me an idea. I've got something to talk about today. I captured it last weekend during the Can You Dig It playlist. And the title of the playlist, Can You Dig It, comes from a movie that was released, I want to say in the late 70s, maybe the early 80s, called The Warriors. It's this famous scene where this head gangster, I don't know the name, what his name was, but he's sitting in the center of Central Park and he's yelling, "Can you dig it?" over and over again. And he's trying to unite all the different gangs in New York City and try to get them to take over the city. It's actually a pretty good movie. I think it's on Netflix Instant Stream, so yeah, check it out if you get a chance. I definitely recommend it. But if you guys don't know, Epic every weekend they release a different variant playlist, and you can play it just for a limited time during that weekend. I think last weekend it was the Can You Dig It playlist, and you start off with a digger and a bolt talk pistol. This weekend I think it's called One Shot, One Kill, or something like that, but you get a sniper rifle and a bolt talk pistol again. So they try to change things up. I think for Halloween you had a pumpkin head, and they have like big head modes. Just ways of keeping the game fresh and exciting. I really like that they do that. Kind of adds variety to it and changes things up, and also shows that they care about the game. They want to work with it because they've definitely been patching the game since release. But they're showing interest in the community and trying to find ways to keep people involved and continue playing. So I really love that approach to their game. But this was the best gameplay that I could have captured while playing in the playlist. I only played for about an hour. It was a lot of fun. I actually think it was my favorite variant they've done so far. In some situations, I actually thought the game was going to crash because everybody was firing off the digger launcher at random. You could just see like 6 or 7 of them flying across the screen. Frame rate is starting to chug. There's so many people shooting it. But this is the best gameplay that I could have captured. One, because I'm horrible with the digger launcher. If they get in close, you have to try to hit him in the chest and kill him. I have horrible aim. That's not going to work for me. And at long range, it takes forever for the digger to get to its location, so people would just roll out of the way. A lot of the kills that I got normally involved me just shooting in random directions and hopefully getting a kill. But the other reason why I couldn't get really good gameplay is because I was playing with some of the European forum, and those guys know what they're doing. They're actually really good, and it's hard to get a ton of kills when these guys are just destroying everybody. So yeah, they know what they're doing. I need to play with them a lot more because they were doing really well. This is one of the few instances where I was able to kind of stay stride for stride with them. And I think even in this first round I get destroyed. It wasn't until the second round that I do much better. So what I want to talk about today is with the integration of the internet into consoles and the internet just becoming a huge part of how people play games on consoles today, there's been a shift in a lot of games and their overall lifespan. People are playing games much longer than they once did. People are putting more time into multiplayer, even single-player games. Once you've beaten everything there is to do on the game disc, in 2 or 3 months a publisher can release some DLC, and you've got new achievements and new story to unlock. So yeah, it's people are playing games for longer periods of time, and developers are trying to find ways to make the game more refreshing and more interesting and to just prevent it from becoming stale. Because you guys may not know this, because of the internet in the last, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years, there's been a change in how people buy games. People aren't buying as many different games as they once did. They're sticking to less games because of the multiplayer. They're staying with the multiplayer game much longer than they did in the past when, you had the single player game, you beat it, and then you went out and bought another game. And so people are doing stuff like they're buying Madden, or they're buying Call of Duty, they're playing that for a while, and then they wait for the next iteration. Which is great for those titles. Those titles are doing very well, but the publisher was losing money on their other titles. People aren't going out and picking those games up anymore, so the publisher had to find a way to make money on the games that they're losing. So what they did is they started pushing DLC. That's why DLC has become as popular as it has, because they're making money on games that they've already sold. But the big thing about DLC is it has to be interesting, it has to be worth buying, and I guess my question to you guys, and it isn't just limited to DLC, it's what do developers need to do to keep the game from becoming stale? what do they need to do to change things up? Obviously, what Epic is doing with Gears of War 3 is they're adding in these variety weekends. Every new weekend, they have a different game mode, and I don't know if it's going to be a new game mode every single weekend. I'm sure there'll be repeats at time, or they'll bring back fan favorites, but they're trying to change things up. Black Ops did something differently. This wasn't DLC, but they added in new game modes. Not game modes, I'm sorry. Excuse me, they added in new playlists. So they added in the competitive playlist, they added in new hardcore modes, and they even added in that express playlist when people were getting tired of all the ghost campers. So developers have tried to find ways to keep the game exciting. And then, of course, there's DLC, which I've heard mixed things about. Like with Call of Duty, people aren't crazy about the fact that Call of Duty's DLC is mostly map packs. Some people would like to see more from it. I know one of the bigger complaints is people would like to see gun packs, which I think would be pretty awesome, but apparently there's some memory restriction or something, so they can't incorporate new guns in there, but that's one of the things that would be really awesome, I think, to incorporate into Call of Duty. I know Battlefield is getting ready to do that. They're getting ready to drop the Back at Karkan map pack, and there's supposed to be new guns in there as well. Gears has they have the new skins, new playable skins, new things you can do in horde mode and different maps as well. So my question to you guys is, what do developers need to do to keep the game from ever becoming stale? I mean, what's the primary thing you think they need to focus on? Do you think just simply map packs is enough to keep it exciting, to keep you wanting to go back and playing a game that you might already enjoy, but maybe you're getting a little fatigued with? Or would you like to see them shift the focus, maybe put more priority in introducing new guns, new player skins, or new game modes? That's something I don't see happen very often. I'll see variants of playlists, like obviously Black Ops introduced new playlists, but they didn't introduce any brand new game modes post-launch. Would you like to see them do something like that as well? Just let me know what you guys think in the comments. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and like always, take it easy.